These are the top 5 best gaming laptops that I've tested in 2023 so far. And as a bonus, I'll share the worst laptop that you should avoid after. Let's start out with number 5 and work our way down to the good stuff. Starting with the Asus TUF A16 Advantage Edition. This laptop has both AMD Ryzen processor and AMD Radeon graphics, the RX 7600S. And in games, it was often close to NVIDIA RTX 3070 Ti gaming laptops from last year, but with a smaller $1,100 price tag, which is much lower compared to even the best 3070 Ti deals I've seen that are usually closer to $1,300. The plastic build quality is decent, it's got a muck switch, and the battery life is seriously impressive compared to most other gaming laptops that I've tested. The processor is using last year's Zen 3 Plus architecture, so CPU performance is definitely fine, just not amazing. But this may be part of the reason why it doesn't cost more money. And you can always spend more money if you want to get the higher tier Zen 4 configuration. As it's not using NVIDIA graphics, you can't use either DLSS or frame generation, but you can still use FSR. At the end of the day, you're just getting a good amount of gaming performance for the money with the TUF A16. Then on the other hand, if you've got more budget and want a more powerful gaming laptop with insane performance, then you'll be looking at spots 4 and 3, which I've given to the Asus Scar 17 and Scar 18. The Scar 17 uses last year's laptop design, but with a newer 16-core AMD Ryzen processor and NVIDIA RTX 40 graphics, while the Scar 18 is a new design this year, featuring a larger 16x10 18-inch screen. The CPU performance is what makes these laptops crazy, with the AMD config dominating multi-core. The Intel-based Scar 18 isn't too far behind there, but it has the best single-core result I've ever seen. Both laptops offer the best multi-core CPU performance when unplugged and running on battery, and the performance in games was constantly top of the charts in a number of games at varying resolutions. Again, these are not cheap, but if you are after some of the best performing gaming laptops available, the Asus Scar 17 and 18 are worth checking out. Though they are also bigger than everything else in this list too. Big size equals big performance. And next up in second place, just before we get to the best gaming laptop tested so far this year, we've got Lenovo's Legion Pro 5i. This is basically a newer version of Lenovo's popular Legion 5 or 5 Pro from last year, which I rated quite highly. Honestly, they haven't changed a whole lot in 2023. If you've seen one Legion, you've kind of seen them all. But hey, don't fix what isn't broken, and I appreciate the clean design. The main changes, like most laptops this year, is of course the newer CPU and GPU. Mine came with RTX 4070 graphics, which were seriously overpriced at launch, but it is possible to find a good sale now a few months on. We've actually got it listed for under $1,400 on the gaminglaptop.deals website, link below the video, which isn't too bad considering last-gen 3070 Ti Legions tend to go on sale for similar money. Maybe more like $1,300 though. Honestly, if last year's 3070 Ti configuration was $1,300 and the 4070 was $1,400, yeah, I think I'd be willing to pay $50 to $100 extra for the 4070 for frame generation. At that point, it's like 4 to 7% extra money. And frame generation is a pretty nice feature in supported games. It just makes them feel smoother. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely not critical, but it's only going to get better and appear in more games in future. So if the price difference isn't that much extra for 40 series, I think you might as well. Especially if it's going to be a laptop that you'll be holding onto for many years. Alright, just before I tell you which laptop you should avoid this year, the best gaming laptop that I've tested so far in 2023 has got to be the Asus Zephyrus M16. At the end of my original review a few months ago, I said that this was one of the nicest gaming laptops I've tested in 2023 so far, and that's still the case for this mid-year update video. Yeah, it's not the best performer, as it's a thinner design compared to the others, but there's more to life than carrying a giant laptop to get a few extra FPS. The build quality and design were excellent. The mini LED screen looks great, and this year they're finally giving us 2 memory slots for upgrades. Last year's M16 only had one with some memory soldered, but that's gone now in this this new redesign. Despite more upgrade options, this year's M16 also gets a third fan, which allows for higher power limits, and that means more performance. The RTX 4070 graphics can get beaten by bigger and cheaper gaming laptops with high-powered 3070 Ti's, but compared to last year's M16 with a lower-powered 3070 Ti, there is at least an improvement here. Not a massive improvement, mind you, but it seems that's all we're getting this year without taking frame generation into account, or spending even more money going up to RTX 4080 or 4090 graphics, which is where the big gen-on-gen gains seem to be. Although these are the best gaming laptops that I've tested so far in 2023, it does not mean that they are the best options for you. For example, I just haven't been able to test that many budget-friendly gaming laptop options yet. It just seems like most brands don't really want to lend those to me. So I ended up buying quite a few of them myself, which is how I found one that should definitely be avoided. This has easily got to be MSI's GF63. When I bought this RTX 4050 gaming laptop a few months ago, it was $1,000 to $1,100 US, which was way too high. You could get an Acer Nitro 5 with the same GPU for less money, except the Nitro has better build quality, a mux switch to boost performance in games, and a higher GPU power limit, which again results in better FPS compared to the more expensive MSI GF63. I was seeing at least 20% better frame rates from the cheaper Nitro. Now, recently, it looks like MSI have finally dropped the price to $850, which is definitely better, but then at the same time, MSI's Cyborg 15 with same specs, granted with less RAM, is currently on sale for $800. And MSI have told me that they see the Cyborg as basically a newer, refreshed GF63. We have this deal and many more listed on our gaminglaptop.deals website when I recorded this. But new deals get added and removed every day, so save money on your next gaming laptop with the link below. There are of course plenty more gaming laptops out there. These are just the 17 that I've been able to get my hands on in the first half of 2023. But we still have half the year left, and I'm already working on the Asus Strix G16, Lenovo Legion Slim 7i, HP Omen Transcend 16, Asus Zephyrus G14, and Gigabyte G5. So there are lots of reviews still coming. The main problem with this year's gaming laptops are that Nvidia's RTX 4050, 4060, and 4070 laptop GPUs just don't offer a whole lot more FPS compared to last year's RTX 30 series. The main benefit is frame generation. Last year's models often have much better sales because they're older, but they are still worth considering, so check out this video next to find out what the best gaming laptops of 2022 were. Because if you don't really care about the new features like frame generation, then last year's laptops are still worth considering. So I'll see you in that one next.